All right, good morning from crabby Thailand. I wanted to do this video kind of out of order because I wanted to be as up to date or as like real time as possible. So thank you everybody for all of your questions on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and those who direct messaged me. I have them all on my phone to kind of help keep them all straight so I don't forget anything. So hopefully you can hear me. There's a little bit of background noise. I am at my hostel right now. So the first question I've been getting a lot of is, where am I going next? So my 2 months in Thailand is almost up, and I did 2 months because that's how long the free visa was, and I will not be extending my visa. So I hadn't planned anything. I had a couple of ideas, but because some things were still kind of in the works, I didn't want to formally book anything up until yesterday. Yesterday I booked a whole bunch of travel for the next 2 weeks. So after Thailand, so in about a little over a week, I will be taking a bus down into Malaysia, and I'll be spending a few days in Kuala Lumpur. And then after Kuala Lumpur, I'll be taking another bus down to Singapore, where I will be I'll be exploring and then also be house sitting or pet sitting. I signed up a while ago for the Trusted House Sitters platform and finally managed to secure my first sit. I'm also in talks for a potential second consecutive sit also in Singapore, which would be nice because Singapore is quite expensive. After that, I have a few options. I'm not really sure where I'll be going, but I have some fun things that I would like to do. Okay, the next one, do you keep yourself busy or do you just kind of explore and see what's around? So a little bit of both. The big thing I've been trying to do is book my bucket list activities, such as cooking school in northern Thailand, scuba school in Koh Tao, and then another one hopefully coming up soon in Vietnam. I kind of tend to book those and then fill in my days kind of in between. So some days are really booked, like the night before I might say like, oh, I'm feeling really adventurous. I want to go do a tour. Where do I want to go do a tour? And then I'll scroll through a couple different apps such as Get Your Guide or Viator. Those are my big ones. I might also just Google, things to do and get like a Reddit list. There's also days like today where I'm not really out adventuring. They're what I like to call my admin days or like rest days. Because you think about it, like when you're at home, you don't necessarily go every day. Like there are days that you have to do laundry. There are days you have to go grocery shopping. There are days that you have to, or you should, just kind of chill out and recoup. So I do kind of have a healthy mix. My time in Krabi, I will have been here for about 2.5 weeks, so like half a month. I'm really kind of slowing down and taking my time and relaxing because the last week, which will be a couple videos ahead, I'll show you what I did for scuba school, and that was just kind of nonstop. Where does Thailand compare to the other places I've been? Thailand is so different from the other places that I've been to, mainly because this is my first Asian country. Thailand it's like I said, it's very different. It's very vibrant. The food scene is amazing. I think Thailand is up there. It's probably, I'd put it in my top 5 country list. I wouldn't say it's my absolute favorite, but it's definitely up there. Do I feel safe as a solo female traveler? Yes, I do. I did post a reel a while back saying that I never walk around when I'm by myself with my headphones in, just to be aware of my surroundings, and that's not, a lot of people took that to be like fear mongering and making a lot of comments about that, so I actually disabled the comments. I didn't want to create controversy, but that was just kind of how I feel. That being said, I have been riding around Krabi by myself at night. I've been going everywhere by myself, well, a lot of places by myself, doing my own thing. In Bangkok I walked around by myself. In the north I walked around by myself. Obviously I do take certain precautions, like I don't walk around, at like 2 a.m. by myself in sketchy places, kind of like how I would back home, There are places in the States that I felt less safe. than out here. So yes, I do feel safe. It is a safe place for a solo female traveler because there are a lot of us out here, and the Thai people are really kind. They do watch out for you. There was a time in Sukhothai where I was walking by myself with my luggage after getting off of my bus trying to get to my accommodations, which was like 2.5 kilometers away, and a lady stopped on her motorbike to see if she could help me get there. So just use common sense and don't do anything that you wouldn't do at home. So what are my favorite beaches and islands that are a must-see? So someday I would like to go back to Koh Tao. The time that I was there, the week that I was there, it rained like 6 of the 7 days. Not like cute little rain, but like torrential downpour. There was flooding. They canceled the ferries the day before and the day after I left. That is a beautiful island. I would love to explore it a little bit more. So I would say Koh Tao definitely would be a must-see, not only for just the beautiful beaches, but also for the scuba diving and the snorkeling that you can do. I visited Maya Bay, which you'll see in my upcoming Krabi video. Maya Bay is the location where they filmed part of the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, The Beach. And I know it does get a bad rap because it is so popular. It is very busy. It is very overrun with tourists for a good reason. It is very beautiful. The sand there is the most beautiful that I've seen. It does kind of remind me of Megan's Bay in St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands. You can't get in the water there, so now they keep you out of it. You can basically go in just to your ankles, but there is a lifeguard that literally runs up and down the beach yelling at tourists to get out of the water. It is beautiful to go see. And then also we stayed at Poda Island. That is absolutely beautiful. I do want to get to a couple other locations. The weather isn't the best right now, so I might be going to another beach tomorrow that's supposed to be one of the top beaches in the world, and I'm going to try to get to some other islands, but these are all on the west side of Thailand. There are some on the east side that are closer to Cambodia that are supposed to be really beautiful that someday I would like to go to. Okay, which apps have I found to be the most helpful? So before I came out here, I actually did a lot of research as to which apps I should download, and I ended up downloading quite a few, and I have since deleted more than half of them just because I don't use them. A lot of them are single-use apps that I can get by without them. So the ones that I'm going to share with you are the ones that I personally use pretty much on a daily basis. The first one is Google Maps. I rely heavily on Google Maps. Not only does it show you the location of things and how to get there, but if you're using public transportation, it tells you not only which method to use, but where to get on, which stop to get off on, which exit to use. It's very, very helpful. Now I know this doesn't work in a few countries, but the ones that I've been traveling in, Google Maps, not Apple Maps, Google Maps. Another one I've been using is the XE exchange, is a currency exchange, just to double check prices to make sure I'm not getting overcharged. Another app that I use quite a bit, obviously, is Google Translate. A lot of Thai people do speak English to some extent, but there are times where I've been in some more remote areas and I have had to use Google Translate. It also has a really good camera feature, so when I'm at like the grocery store and I want to try something new, I will use the camera feature on it to translate like what the product actually is. For transportation, there are a few apps if you're not going to rent a vehicle or a scooter, because taxis do have a reputation of overcharging you. They don't have Uber or Lyft out here. They use apps called Grab and Bolt. Grab also does food delivery, which is really handy. I used that a lot when I was in Bangkok. Another app that I use is called One2Go. It's where you can book your transportation. So when I've been going to and from the cities and I've needed like a bus or a ferry to get out to the islands, you book through One2Go. Everybody does it, and it's really good. And you can leave reviews. Viator, like I mentioned before, and Get Your Guide. Those are two where you can like book tours, and you don't necessarily need to book through them. It's a good way just to see like what's fun to do if you can do it on your own too. I'd say the last big app that I use, and I don't use it all the time, but it will lead me to my next question, is called the Airalo app. It's for my eSIM card. So the next question is, do I use a physical SIM or an eSIM card? So I have Verizon, which means that I do not have right now an international data package. I know that some phone companies like T-Mobile have cheap international data packages. I don't have that, and so when I would book my, my week-long vacations, I would just use I can't remember what it was called, the TravelWise or the Travel Day Pass through Verizon, where it was like $10 a day to have just unlimited data, and you keep your same phone number, which was great. When it was 5 days, I'm like, okay, $50. It's simple, it's easy, it's not the cheapest way to do it, but it was just the easiest, and that's what I chose. And then when I decided to do this, I was like, I can't spend $10 a day on data. And then I saw a story online about a couple who didn't know about this, and they ended up coming home to like multi-$100,000 phone bill because they were traveling abroad and they didn't know about it, or they didn't do something right. And so I use an eSIM. It's really easy. When you download the app, you can see which countries have electronic SIM cards. So basically you would buy a data package, and it would and then you install it on your phone, and then it provides you with a local phone number. So right now I still have my regular phone number, I just have that line turned off so that I don't get charged for it. And I use my Thailand number to basically do everything that I would need to do. I still connect to Wi-Fi when possible, but I have an unlimited package, so I don't necessarily need that. You can get a physical SIM card here at 7-Eleven, and they can install it for you, but it's not always reliable. You don't always know if your phone is unlocked until you try to get it done. I tried to use one once in Germany. It was such a hassle, so eSIM is the way to go. How do I deal with sweating and chub rub? That is a really good question, because most people deal with it, even if you don't admit it. So Thailand is in the tropics. I am very close to the equator. It is very humid. I am literally sitting in the shade and I am sweating. It is so hot. It doesn't help that my hair is down. I tried to keep it down for this video. But it's Thailand. You are gonna sweat no matter what you're doing. One of the best ways to deal with that is I've noticed a lot of girls, and guys obviously too, wear like bicycle shorts, even like under their dresses and stuff. Because if you're going to be walking around a lot, you are going to get hot. I'm going to slide over, hot and sweaty. And so a lot of the days, especially if I'm going to be walking around, I wear capris. So they are a little bit longer, so I don't have to worry about that. My recommendation, I would rather be hot and sweaty than have to deal with a rash and like irritated skin, because that just makes it so much not fun. You can also buy elephant pants here. They're stereotypical backpacker pants that have elephant print on them. They're everywhere and they're super cheap. But if you have like linen pants or something, that could be super helpful. Something that breathes, but you do want to wear some kind of pant if you're gonna, or like short, if you're gonna be walking around. So board shorts work. Like I said, I wear capris. You can wear like flowy linen pants or like jorts, or just wear like a thin pair of bicycle shorts underneath your dress or your skirt. That'll help quite a bit. What are some must-visit places for coffee or food? So I actually don't drink coffee, but there are tons of coffee shops out here, and the coffee scene is massive out here. So I will leave a link below for some recommendations for people who do drink coffee. If you want really, really good food, you want to go to the north of Thailand. Chiang Mai is the culinary capital of Thailand. There's so many different variations of food up there, and they're so good. I've noticed in Bangkok they use a lot of fish balls in their dishes, which I'm not a huge fan of. It has more of an international scene. Down here in Krabi there is a lot of Indian food. There's a lot of local Thai food. There's a lot of seafood as well. But if you're gonna be in Thailand, you wanna go to the north and eat Khao Soi. It's one of my favorite food dishes. It's a curry with noodles. absolutely delicious. I also fell in love with Burmese BBQ, so basically anything that's cooked over an open flame on a stick. Obviously mango sticky rice. So they take a mango, they slice it up, they put it over the sticky or the glutinous rice with fried mung beans and like this salty, sweet coconut milk sauce. So good. Actually, had some last night for dinner. It was really good. So how much of the year do you have planned and how much are you just winging it? I only had the first little bit planned in Thailand, and like I mentioned earlier, I just book my big excursions and not that far out, mainly because I wanted to leave room for spontaneity. And like when you travel and just basically when you go about life, you learn things as you go, and you want to be able to they're making a smoothie at the cafe. You want to be able to, you know, pick and choose what you want to do in the moment. And so I try not to plan out too far ahead. The only reason I have planned out to Singapore right now is because I know I need to be there because I'm going to be house sitting. And the only reason I had planned out my first couple of weeks in Thailand was because I knew I needed to be on Koh Tao Island for scuba school. That being said, it kind of bit me in the butt to do that because when I was up in Chiang Mai, a lot of the people I met in the hostel were going to be staying an extra day and then going over to Laos and doing the slow boat down I think it's the Mekong River in Laos. And I really wanted to do that, but I couldn't because I'd already booked my transportation. It was non-refundable, so I had to go. And I missed out on that opportunity. If someone was planning a week vacation in Thailand, where should they go? What is the must do and must see? Okay, so if I had only 1 week in Thailand, I would either go to the north in Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Pai, that area. It's where it's jungly and fun and lots of adventures, lots of waterfalls, lots of food. Or I would go to the south, where I would go like where I am now in Krabi, go to the islands. I think a must-do while you're here is some kind of cooking adventure, whether you're doing like a food tour or a cooking class, and also some kind of ethical animal adventure, whether it's going to see the elephants or going on a tour to see the monkeys. That's a must-do because that's something that is synonymous with Thailand. If you are going to be going south to the islands, you need to get in the water. You need to either scuba or snorkel, get on a boat, tour around. There's so much to see and do. So I would focus on either the north or the south. Bangkok is great. It's a huge city, but it's not, I don't think it encapsulates what Thailand is as good as the other regions do. Last 2 questions. First one, what's it like staying in a dorm room in a hostel with strangers? I've done a few reels about this on Instagram. I love it. It's a great way to meet people when you are feeling up to being social. It's also a great way to save money if you just need a bed to sleep in. You do get some odd ones. I'm creating a reel right now about some like hostel etiquette things, but it's a lot of fun. It's a little strange the first time you do it because it's new, but that's like with everything else in life. The first time is always gonna be it's always going to be different. It's always going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but it's fantastic. There's hostels everywhere. The first hostel I stayed in was actually in the States. It was in New Orleans. So, and I know that most big cities have them as well. The last thing, what are the top 3 things that I've learned? Okay, this was a fun one that my friend Trevor asked. So the first thing I learned was how to scuba dive, which was awesome. I have a whole video coming out about that. The second was I learned how to ride a motorbike. Again, that's going to be coming out in another video. So I'm very proud of myself for that. The third thing, there's something here called a bum gun. It's like a manual DIY bidet because you don't throw toilet paper in the toilet, you actually throw it in a trash can. And so if you go number 2, it's a way to clean yourself up that's a little bit more hygienic. The thought of taking essentially a high pressure hose to clean yourself was a little weird, and it took me a while to work up the courage to do it. But I've done it, and that's a funny skill that I can say that I now have. That's it for now. The sun is about to creep over me and it's getting really, really hot. So thank you for all of your questions. If I didn't get to your question, please leave it in the comment section below, and I will answer it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. I know that's so cringe, but I've got some really fun videos coming out that I want to share with you. So I'll see you on the next adventure.